Hi, YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere. It's BarberGeorgeTune.com. I'm back with another Monday morning mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk a little wet shaving and a few other things. What do you got this morning? Hang on, I got an old friend here. This is great. Oh boy. That is a really, really good hot cup of coffee. Can you see the steam coming off of there? Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. Boy, that's just a great cup of coffee this morning. And yeah, it's Seattle's best. Their breakfast blend. Boy, this is terrific. Medium roast, smooth roasted. Yes, very much so. 100% Arabica. This is really a nice cup of coffee in the morning. And it's the fall season is upon us up here in Ohio. And just a perfect cup of coffee for those chilled mornings that we've been waking up to. Although this morning's a little bit warmer, but this is a really nice cup of coffee. I just can't believe all that steam coming off of there. I don't know if you can see that, but boy, it's just terrific. And I got my clear coffee mug here to show you the richness of what I have here. And I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning as well as we talk about some wet shaving and a few other things. Before I forget, Prime Day is Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, the 13th and the 14th. So Prime Day starts tomorrow, Tuesday the 13th, and goes to Wednesday the 14th. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, do so right here. There's my Twitter handle. And I'm going to be looking for deals on wet shaving gear. And if I come across anything, I will tweet it out. So you might want to follow me on Twitter. Hopefully they'll have some great deals in wet shaving gear. I don't know what they're going to have. I can't guarantee anything, but I am going to be actively looking, and if I come across anything, I will definitely tweet it out, along with some other deals that Amazon might have in the way of Kindles and Amazon Echoes and television sets and that sort of thing. They've already got some deals that are out there that I've already tweeted out. If you go to Whole Foods before Prime Day, or I think up until the 14th, and you spend more than $10, they'll give you $10 for Prime Day. You have to be a Prime member though. And also small businesses. If you go to participating small businesses and spend, I think again, more than $10 or $10 or more, they'll give you $10 for Prime Day. So that's something to consider as well. And I also tweeted out those links this past week. So, you know, you can get an extra $10 if you go to Whole Foods or to a small business, extra $10 for Prime Day. So that's kind of neat. All right. So let's get to some of these questions here and everything. You know, in the last Monday morning mailbag, I talked about razors that were that I use that were good for head shaves, and I left out a few, so I wanted to kind of go back and look at that again and talk about some other razors that I use for a head shave. So let's go back for a refill. Yeah, that's right. A viewer named No BS Beard Reviews wrote me and said, question, recommendation for a good DE razor for head shaving. And I gave several, and you know what? There are so many more that I like to use. I wanted to just mention those here again because I omitted some, and just wanted to give you, you know, a larger lot of razors to pick from, to look at, that sort of thing. Kind of give you a larger variety to actually explore. This one right here came to mind, and I omitted this one. Want to talk about it again this week. This is the Vikings Blade Godfather Stonehenge. A beautiful, mild razor that has a lot of heft. And this is a stainless steel cap and handle. The base plate is a nice hardy, I believe it's Zamac, but it's got some great plating on it. And just love the overall look of this razor. It is very precise. It is on the mild side, and the razors that I discuss for head shaves are going to be on the mild side because that's what I use. I like using razors that are neutral to mild for my head shave. I find they do a better job for me. I know there are a lot of wet shavers out there and some others who have channels who up the aggression when they do a head shave. nothing wrong with that, just that I prefer mild razors. So if you're in that category, please consider some of these razors. So the Godfather Stonehenge, absolutely beautiful, beautiful razor for a head shave. I did a face shave with this the other day. Again, 3-pass BBS shave from this. Just terrific. I love the way that razor head is configured. Love the shape of the handle, especially here at the towards the end, where I can really kind of get a hold of it and really get back on my neck and the bottom of that hair fringe there, and really get a nice grasp of it. And I don't know how they've treated this, if they've done some kind of micro sandblasting or what they've done here, but it gives a very, very nice grip overall. And they also have some of this ribbing here, which acts as knurling, and that's also very, very good too. But yeah, this little bit of ribbing here, and also at the end of the handle, just really gives you a nice grasp. So the Godfather Stonehenge is another really nice mild razor that I like to use for head shaves. This other one here, which is very, very mild, comes from Global Shave Clubs International. This is their Sunshine razor. This is a dual comb. It has an open comb on one end and a closed sculpted comb on the other. This is a very, very mild razor. Very mild razor. They tout this as being very, very good for beginners. But I've also found it to be very, very good for head shaves, especially if you want a mild razor for head shaves. You might want to consider this. Very, very mild. They rated it 2.5 on a scale of 1 to 5. And on a scale from 1 to 9, I would probably put it in probably a 3. Something right around in there. It really is very, very mild. And it's nice. It's not overly heavy. It's not overly light. It's right there in the middle. But really, the big selling point on this is the mild quality. So yeah, the Sunshine razor from Global Shave Clubs International. This next one is also from Global Shave Clubs International. And I happened to use it last night for a head shave. The Calypso, right here. Can you see that? Just hold it a little lower against my shirt because it does have black plating on it. This is a 3-piece open comb razor, the Calypso, and it is really very mild. Again, I believe that they rate this at about 2.5 on a scale from 1 to 5. Again, I'd put it at like maybe a 3 on a scale from 1 to 9 for me. Just a terrific handle with some nice knurling. Did a terrific job for a head shave last night. Very, very mild. No nicks, no cuts, no irritation. I did have one little blemish up here that it kind of caught, but that's not the fault of the razor. That's just something that I had up there. But it did a really, really nice job. I also used it for a face shave this morning, and it was wonderful. Again, another really nice 3-pass face shave with this morning. So the Calypso is just another really terrific razor. Again, on the mild side. Like this one a lot. If you like vintage razors, the Gillette Tech, I would say post World War II. This is from the 1950s, this one right here. These are really mild, very efficient. These are great for head shaves. I absolutely love these razors for doing head shaves. And I can put a little sharper, a little more aggressive blade in this and still get a nice, mild, nick-free, cut-free, irritation-free head shave. Yeah, these are really, really nice. Now, the handle is a little shorter than what I've showed you already, but still, that little bit of ball end right there, you can kind of grab that and really get back there. That really is nice for grasping the very end of it if you have to. And I like this tight knurling right here. That also gives a nice grip. So yeah, these classic Tech heads, just really a nice mild quality to these. If you get something that's pre-World War II in the Tech line, it's going to be a little more aggressive. I tend not to use those for head shaves. Anything that is post-World War II, because they are milder, something from the 1950s into the 1960s, my understanding is those are milder. Those are the mildest of the Techs that were made, as I understand it. Yeah, this is gives great job on head shaves. Something new here that I also use for a head shave. This came from viewer Mike Rosenthal. He sent this to me. This is the Razor Rock Blackhawk razor. This gave me a really nice, mild, smooth head shave. Gave me a terrific face shave, very, very smooth. And of course, it's a single edge razor. It is a 3-piece razor, and it's single edge. This is aluminum. It's very lightweight, 1.3 ounces. Let me see if I can get that apart. Yeah, so there you go, right there. It's a, again, it's a 3-piece single edge razor, very precisely made. Let me get that back together again here. It's got to go. Okay. I got to line those pins up. Let me get this. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Very precise. Got to go back together the way it came apart. So it is very precise. And lightweight, very maneuverable. Even though I was using a feather blade in here, still really, really very mild. Gave me a nice, mild, smooth face shave, and it gave me a really terrific, smooth, mild head shave. I was really surprised because when you put the blade in here, it looks a lot more aggressive than it really is. And of course, they have this feature right here on the end here. You can unscrew this cap, and you can shorten the handle if you want a shorter handle. And then adding this just adds a little bit of length to it. I like to use it with that knob on there. And I'm hoping they introduce little longer knobs to add a little length to this. That would be kind of neat. But yeah, the Black Hawk single edge razor from Razor Rock. Another really, really good choice for doing head shaves. Like it a lot. Lastly is something new. Viewer Beth Jones contacted me and told me about the Henson razor, and I went out and got one. I got two, actually. I got one in mild. This is the mild version, and of course they also have the medium version. This mild version was wonderful for a head shave. It's great for a face shave, wonderful for a head shave. It did a wonderful job, gave me a close, smooth head shave. No nicks, no cuts, no irritation. I was really, really very, very surprised. Again, this is also an aluminum razor like the Black Hawk. Black Hawk's made from aluminum. This one's made from aluminum. It's the same weight, 1.3 ounces. So there is that lightness there, that lightweight quality to it that you have to kind of adjust to. I prefer razors that are on the heavier side, that have a little more heft. But given the fact that this gives me such a great shave, you know what? That's not a deal breaker being lightweight. It's just really a nice, smooth, efficient shave. It's a 3-piece razor. It is precisely made. And they use a slot and tab system here, and that doesn't go all the way through, so that you have a nice flat base plate here on the bottom, and they also have this tungsten thrust bushing here that really aids in allowing you to attach that handle and really give it a nice, really crank down on it if you want to. Cuts down on the friction and really helps make that a really nice tight fit so that the blade aligns. Just really terrific. Overall, great design. And of course, this is kind of a T-shaped razor. So this angle right here on this face is a nice 30 degrees. So as long as you hold that angle, you're at 30 degrees all the time. Really terrific shave. Of course, the angle of approach is a little. There's a wide approach to it also. You can be off a little bit and still get a really nice shave. For a head shave, I found that going from front to back, a little difficult at first to find that angle. A little easier going back to front for me. Maybe just the way I'm holding the razor, I don't know. Of course, I haven't had many head shaves with it, so I think there is a little bit of getting used to this style razor head versus something that is a little more traditional in shape, such as these right here. When you're used to shaving with something like this, coming over to this can be a little bit of a learning curve. Not a great deal, but you just have to feel your way around just a little bit. For face shaves, absolutely fantastic. No problem finding that angle. But when you do a head shave, yeah, you have to play with it a little bit because of the shape of the head. You're trying to find that contour there all the time. So you're always adjusting this angle. So yeah, this is helpful at times. And as I say, going from back to front, no problem at all. Going front to back, have to do a little adjusting. So a little bit of a learning curve there. But yeah, wonderful, wonderful razor for doing a head shave. Definitely going to use it again. And most of these I find myself gravitating towards, as well as the others I mentioned last week, to do head shaves because I like the mild quality that they offer, and I just don't like nicking my head when I do a head shave. And so yeah, those are some of the choices that I have, and if I come across any more, I'll mention them again. Now, did you like that transition, that little coffee cup transition coming up to this, talking about this? I got an email from a viewer named Sean Miller, and he wrote, "Good morning, Mark. I discovered Monday Morning Mailbag when I began working from home earlier in the year, and I've been a lawyer viewer ever since. It's a great format, which I really enjoy, but I also wanted to share a little bit of feedback. The transitions you've added can at times be distracting. I usually listen to rather than watch the videos, so the ones which have sound effects while you are speaking are the worst offenders. Something to consider." Yes, I agree, which is why some of these overlays where I say, subscribe and, check out my Facebook page, I'm going to get rid of those sound effects in the background, because I understand that there are some viewers out there that like to listen to this in the morning like radio. And I understand that, because when I'm at my drawing table, I do the same thing. I'll sometimes turn on the television and just have it in the background to kind of fill the air a little bit and listen to what's going on while I'm working on my comics. And if something of interest comes up, then I'll look up and look at the television set, whether it's here or back there or wherever it is. So I understand that. So yeah, I'm going to be reducing the sound effects, eliminating the sound effects on some of these things, or reducing them a little more because they can be loud. That's why I'm going to this coffee transition rather than using that ancient archive vault, because I think they could be a little too loud and abrupt. Although I love that effect, I really do. Maybe I'll bring it back and just turn the volume down. I don't know. The feature, the episodes are dynamic, so easy and fun to change things around, but I appreciate the feedback. And let me know what you think about some of the transitions, if Sean's suggestions are to your thinking or not. Just let me know. I really do appreciate it. He also says another suggestion would be having timestamps in the description for each question and or topic. I often find myself going back to re-listen to segments which piqued my interest, so that addition would help me personally. Yes, that is a great suggestion, Sean. So I will be timestamping all the questions that I address, and I think the viewers will absolutely respond well to that. And I've seen that done on other channels when they're, when they have maybe songs or different topics or whatever. You can click on it and go right to whatever it is they're talking about. I think that's a great idea, and that's one I'm going to be incorporating. So thanks very much for that, Sean. I really do appreciate it. Okay, this next question comes from Washam Bond, and he says, slim versus fat, which safety razor do you prefer personally? Thanks very much for that question, Washam. I really do appreciate it. Looks like in this episode we're going to be talking about razors mostly. But yeah, I have both of these wonderful vintage adjustable razors. I have a Gillette Slim from about this one I think is from 1962, I think this is my H2 here. I have this one here, and I also have a J3, which is from 1964, right here. And boy, they're both terrific shavers. I like them a lot. Yeah, like them a lot. This was one of the first vintage adjustable razors I bought, which was the Gillette Slim, and they are terrific. Now, I always wanted a Fatboy. Always wanted them. Saw them. Very expensive. They are something that I think every traditional wet shaver wants to have in their collection, and they are because they only made them for a limited time. I think it was from like 58 to about 60, I think 61, somewhere in there, maybe 3.5 years. Yeah, they are prized because there's a limited number out there, and they do a great job in shaving. Now, a viewer named Jim from Northfield, very, very kindly sent me one as a gift, and here it is. And again, Jim, thank you very, very much. And it's in beautiful working order. The only thing there is it's got that little bit of a lazy door right there. Can you see that? But I regard that as part of its charm, because in the morning when I'm looking at this by itself, I know there are some distinct differences between it and the Slim. But when I'm looking at it by itself in the morning, I'm thinking, well, is that the Slim or is that the Fatboy? I'm not sure. So the way I know is when I open it up, and I know that door doesn't open up all the way like that. See, I can just kick it over. Oh, that's my Fatboy. Which is why I'm never going to have that adjusted or fixed. I like that. There's something about the charm. So when you say which one do I like better than, do I like the Fatboy better than the Slim? Well, I love this Fatboy. I really do. Not only does it give me a great shave, but it also has a lot of sentimental value to it because a viewer gave it to me as a gift. And again, it's got that little bit of a lazy door there that is, I find to be very, very charming. And it does a wonderful, wonderful job in giving me a shave. I think they're both very, very good. This H2 is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful shape. Better than the J3, really. And it's just been a fantastic shaver. They're both really great. And I think the shaves between the two of them are similar, although I like the slightly larger diameter of the Fatboy and the slightly shorter handle. I like that. It changes the angle of approach of the shaves just slightly for me. But yeah, I'm definitely a Fatboy. I'm a Fatboy lover. I love this razor. The Slim is also very, very nice. They're both great, but yes, I prefer the Fatboy over the Slim for a variety of sentimental reasons, really. That leads me to another story regarding the Fatboy, because this is another reason why I appreciate this Fatboy all the better. And I may have mentioned this in a Monday morning mailbag or in another video. And if you've heard the story before, well then, please, I beg your indulgence on this. And for those viewers who haven't heard it, let me share with you the story regarding this. Now, when I came back to the traditional wet shave, I discovered my late father's Gillette Super Speed. This is from 1957. This is absolutely in beautiful, beautiful shape. It still works well. It gives a great shave. Absolutely terrific. And this razor inspired me to come back. Now the Vikings Blade Chieftain, which I have over here, right over here, this is the razor that brought me back to the traditional wet shave, because I used this to shave with before I used the Gillette. I just was a little apprehensive of jumping in with Dad's razor. I just wanted to learn it first before I used this. So I used the Chieftain, and that's the razor that brought me back to traditional wet shave. So that after I really came back to the wet shave and learned the process and what I was doing, then I went ahead and used Dad's razor, and the shaves were absolutely beautiful. And it's nice to have my father's razor because he's not here anymore, and this is my link to him and his memory, and that's another great part of the traditional wet shave, is what I'm trying to say. A lot of us have these razors from fathers, grandfathers, uncles, etc. And there's meaning there. There's a great deal of meaning there. So, in my quest to find a Fatboy, I happened to go up to Craigslist, and I saw an ad for a Fatboy that was for sale. It was with the original case, and it was $35. And I couldn't believe it. I believe the gentleman was in Toledo, Ohio. And that's significant because I'm in the greater Cleveland area, so if I had to drive out and get it, I would be able to do that. Anyhow, I called him up and I asked him about the razor. And he only wanted $35 for it, which I thought was insanely low price for it. There had to be something wrong. And he said, no, there was nothing wrong with it. It's just that it's been sitting around in his house. It belonged to his father, and he just wasn't using it. And I thought, I'm not going to take this razor from him for $35 if it belonged to his dad. And I asked him if he had any children. He said yes, he had a son. And I said, well, is he shaving? He said, not yet, but he will be in a few years. I said, you know what? Look, don't sell that razor. Don't sell that razor. First of all, it's a very prized razor in the wet shaving community, and $35 is far too low of a price for it. And I said, secondly, you know, if you or your son decide to come back to the traditional wet shave, you're going to have that razor, and it's going to have special meaning to you, and it's really going to enhance the shave, and it'll be great memories of your dad, or it'll be great memories of granddad to your son. And I just told him, don't sell it. If after all this you really want to sell it, then fine. Then you can name a fair price for it, and I'll buy it. But I really encourage you not to sell it. Just hang on to it. And I left it at that. And I don't know if he ever sold it. I know that I didn't want to buy it for $35, knowing that it belonged to his father. If it was something that he had gotten from an estate sale or from a third party or an antique store or something like that, for $10, he wanted to make $15, okay, fine. I would have probably purchased it then. But because I had that sentimental attachment to his father, I said, no, I just don't want to buy it. And here, look what happened. A very nice viewer named Jim from Northfield, sent me a Fatboy of my own, and that's why it's got a lot of value to it. It's got a lot of sentimental value to it because it came from a viewer of this channel, and as I say, it's in really nice shape. So that's why I prefer the Fatboy over the Slim, because of all those reasons. So yes, that's kind of the long and short of the answer. A little bit longer than a little bit longer of an answer that you probably wanted. But I just want to share with you that interesting story. If I talked about it before, my apologies to those of you who've heard it before. I didn't want to bore you with it, but new viewers, I'm sure you might have. I hope you found it interesting and entertaining. All right, so thanks very much for that, Washam. I really do appreciate it. Okay, this next question comes from Dr. Doum. I believe that's how it's pronounced, D-O-U-M. Anyhow, he writes, "Hi, Mark. Saw some of your videos on the Fatip Grande. I am also interested in the Gentile. I'm a daily shaver and find I like mild razors with sharp blades best. Comfortable but efficient. The Edwin Jagger DE89 and Merkur 33C work well for me with a Nasset or feather blade. A Razor Rock Game Changer .68 is as aggressive as I can go. Would you recommend one Fatip over the other? Also, I'm worried about quality control and blade alignment issues. Is there a seller who can ensure I get a good one? Thanks in advance." Well, I can tell you that I have been in touch with the seller of Fatip Razors via email, and I can share with you some of his thoughts regarding those questions. I've done this before, but I'm really happy to do it again. And he wrote back to me, "Dear Mr. Zarate, thank you for your email. Motakoti is the worldwide master distributor of the Fatip brand, and I am the marketing director. Concerning your questions about the manufacturing, all the Fatip razors are made by human control of machining tools. They are made in Primana by Mr. Ilario Fazzini and Sons. That's why we can talk about pure craftsmanship. Sometimes we have some little defects that we are trying to eliminate, and that's another sign of the craft handwork." I agree with what he's saying. Now, I have 3 Fatip razors. Well, 2 branded Fatip razors and 1 made by Fatip under a different brand. I have the Fatip Piccolo, which is very good. I have the Fatip Grande, and I also have the Shuna razor, which is made by Fatip. Now let's just talk about the Fatip Piccolo and the Fatip Grande. Between these two, I always find myself picking the Grande every single time. I started with the Piccolo. The Piccolo is the first one I bought. The Piccolo is a 3-piece razor with a solid brass handle. It is a little more diminutive in size than the Grande, but this is a solid brass handle. It's nickel plated, so it's a great throwback to those old Gillette razors like the Super Speed, the razor that belonged to my late father. Those are brass construction and nickel plated from what I understand. But this is solid brass construction and nickel plating. And yes, There are some slight little imperfections in here, maybe a little bit of pitting here and there in the handle, that sort of thing. Very, very minute, but I think that adds to its charm, and you know it's handmade on machines. These are not computer numerical controlled machines from what I understand. These are actual craftsmen who are working on a lathe or a Bridgeport machine, and they're actually turning these parts out by hand. And that does have its charm, and the quality control on these is very, very good. I have seen no difference in shave, blade alignment, or balance between my piccolo to my grande to my shuna. Absolutely the same kind of blade balance and alignment. The only difference is this is a little heavier, and the grande is maybe about the same weight, a little lighter, and grande has a hollowed out handle. But I can tell you that because of this configuration of this razor here, the length of the handle, the hollowed out gives it a different kind of feel. The hollow handle gives it a different kind of feel. Love this. The piping that is on the handle is a different kind of knurling and a different kind of feel to it. Like that a lot. Again, nickel plating, brass construction. Just love these razors. For me, they give me a nice, mild, smooth shave. Now, there was some talk at one time that if you bought a Fatip Grande or a Piccolo prior to 2017, that it was more aggressive than what you buy now. And he also addressed that in another email to me. And he said, Mr. Zarady, it's always a pleasure receiving your reviews. It seems the comments and rumors about the productions pre and post 2017 were emphasized by the Fatip lovers like a sort of legend. To be honest, all this story was generated by a little mistake in one production, only one, made in 2016. The curve of the cap and comb of the cutting head was slightly different, so the blade was more exposed. The standard production before and after that odd production was like the new ones. We know that some Fatipers were in love with the more aggressive production, but the majority prefer the cutting performance of the standard production. So it was just an error on their part that they happened to make a more aggressive razor prior to 2017. There was only one production run. So if you're going to find one that is on eBay from a seller, make sure you know what date it was manufactured and if it is one of the more aggressive ones that was from that production run. But from the majority of these are terrific. As far as quality, as far as fit and finish, everything is spot on. I love it. And again, you have just these little bits, I can even feel here, just a little bit of pitting, but the light kind of dances off of that a little bit. I think it's a nice quality. It just has a great handmade feel to it. And I enjoy that aspect of it. And I love this. I love this razor a lot. Now, the Fatip Grande, as I say, is a very mild razor. The Shuna, which is made by Fatip and sold under the Shuna brand, this is even milder than the Grande. And whereas the Fatip Grande and the Piccolo have 11 teeth in the open comb, this one has 9. I believe that's what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9. It has 9. Grande has 11. So that changes the shave. This is milder than the Grande. And of course it has a different kind of handle to it. This is nickel plated as well, brass construction. Same kind of hollow handle that the Grande has. Yeah, I like this one too. Use it for head shaves. Really, really nice. Very mild. Very, very milder than the Grande. So if you're looking for something that's really mild, the Shuna might be a better choice than the Grande. Although they're both mild, this is definitely milder. So yeah, I like these razors a lot. As far as online sellers, Maggard Razors is very, very good. I bought my Piccolo from Maggards, and they did a great job in processing my order, making sure it got to my front door in a timely fashion, and they sold me a very nice Fatip Piccolo. They really did. Now, as far as the Grande and the Shuna, I believe I bought those on Amazon. I have to check my records again, but you can buy them on Amazon. And I don't think there's anything to be afraid of as far as quality control, that sort of thing, because I think their quality control is very, very good and locked in very, very well. So that's kind of the long and short of the Fatip Razors. They are very, very good. They are definitely a favorite in my stable of razors. They give me some great shaves. I've used them for head shaves as well. And between the Grande and the Piccolo, I'm always reaching for the Grande. Just love the look and the feel of this one. The Piccolo is nice, but there's something about this Grande, the diameter of the handle, the weight, the balance, the look of it, the knurling, especially on the bottom knob here. There's something about this that is just really, really appealing to me. So yeah, I used the Piccolo, but as soon as I bought the Grande, it was the Grande all the way. I haven't used the Piccolo in a long, long time, to be honest with you. Love the Grande. All right, that's it. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like. Hit that bell so it'll give you a yell the next time I upload a video. Comment below, let me know. Check out my blog, georgetoon.com/blog for my comic strip George, other cartoons, other videos like this. I'm on Facebook. Check out my Facebook page. Check out Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements for some great shaving gear. Check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/marksarray, where you'll find all the products I review in this channel, organized and categorized, so you can find everything in a snap very easily. I'll leave you with this laugh. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Looks like I need a warm-up. Make it a great week.